TACOM. Pendejos are in retreat. The day is ours.
Nice. Yeah, I've been playing around with that site too, Max.
Bug out.
It's a nice run.
Frickin' spawn me on the other side. Damn. He was like, fuck that Wesker guy.
Care package available for
Spy plane perimeter established.
I hate those big black trucks.
Established overhead. Exterminate the objectives. We got the bomb. Defend the objectives. Hostile spy plane established overhead. Enemy has Alpha. Taking Charlie. All locations secured. Hold your positions.
Coming from A, coming from
Losing
A.
A.
spy plane standing.
That was Domination on Team Deathmatch. Oh, damn.
Care package available for tasking.
Protect the objectives. Enemy spy plane inbound. Destroy the objective. We got the bomb. You performed as expected, Gru. Location secure. Maintain current posture.
I know.
Right?
Losing C.
Ah!
Losing Alpha.
Oh shit.
Spy plane standing by.
We lost A.
What's that? Good looking, man.
Alpha. We're taking control. Enemy has B. Charlie locked down. Securing Bravo. Enemy has A. Hostile spy plane established overhead.
Forward ahead. We are taking control.
Female operator. Enemy appears KIA.
Charges set. One enemy left. Put them down.
I got him.
Did he get their stimulus yet? Oh, okay. I have not.
Multiple enemy spy plane contacts. Spy plane
I can't touch my until.
Bomb dropped. We got the bomb. Only one hostile remains. Hunt them down. The bomb has been planted. It's on you. Win or die trying. Yes, this was no fluke. Securing B. Net call. Hostile chopper gunner operating. Bravo lockdown.
Ritual escort awaiting orders.
Hostile spy plane established overhead. We lost B.
Oh, look at this play.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching today's episode. We're looking at the QBZ-83, better known as the Famas. I'm going to take a look at my gunsmith option to show you what kind of attachments I have for this. On the previous screen, I went with the gunfighter wildcard, so I'm going to have quite a few extra attachments on this. So as far as my optics, I got the Silix Hollow Scout. Most of my clips will show that I went with this. There might be a couple that show that I went with the this right here, the Susat multi-zoom. I mean, it's decent. I would say it's probably like the second best loadout you can go with. Simply being able to, well, for me it's F. You might have a different key, but for me I press F and then I'm able to double the magnification and see further. Because it's pretty much like an ACOG, but nah, I felt as though of all of them, the Silix Hollow Scout was the best. Mainly because you get that 1.75x magnification and it provides a distortion-free sight picture. So the other sites don't really get that. When I zoom in on enemies, I like the idea that they show up like crystal clear, without like blur and all these other elements. So if you use this, you're gonna get it really clear compared to some of these other ones. Now there's other ones, of course, that's gonna give you a faster aim down sight and so on. But it just all depends on your style of play. For my style of play, I just like things appearing a lot more clear. So that's what I went with. And then move along, as far as my muzzle, I went with the agency suppressor, mainly because it gives you a plus 100% muzzle flash concealment and a plus 7% vertical recoil control. And then as far as my barrel, I went with the 15.5 inch takedown, which improves the damage range so much in which you get an extra 150% effective damage range. Now I'm going to put a little emphasis on this. If you're playing non-hardcore, which they call it core, you're playing Search and Destroy for instance, you have to have this paired with your suppressor, because what's going to happen is, unless you're like directly behind the guy, all you're going to do is piss him off. It's like shooting somebody with like birdshot or something like that. I mean, yeah, I guess you could technically be lethal with it if you did it close enough, right? But in reality, I mean, if you're gonna take somebody out like with a shotgun, you need double aught buck, or to really take him out. You don't want to just shoot at your target and piss him off, and then he finishes you off. Same concept. You got to have this paired with a suppressor, because if you don't, you're just gonna tag him a couple times. You're gonna quickly finish you off, and then you end up losing. So have this paired with your suppressor, because it compensates for the, I guess you say, the lack of damage that the weapon's going to do because it has a suppressor. So yeah, make sure that's on there. This really helps. So what if it gives you minus 5% sprinting move speed? You're going to make up for it on another attachment. You'll see here in a bit. And then as far as the I'm sorry, wrong one. As far as the body, I went with the Ember sighting point. Gives me extra plus 30% reveal distance, and a plus 30% hip fire accuracy. Now, don't confuse the reveal distance with ADS distance. You know, the two are actually different. This reveal distance basically just means like you're walking around with your gun based on hip fire. Some people kind of confuse the two. But anyway, it's really good. The plus 30% hip fire accuracy is what stands out with this sighting point. And I will definitely vouch for this particular one compared to other ones. I've had other ones on other weapons in which didn't really make that much of a difference, or it seemed like 50% of the time I was actually hitting the target. On this one, if you are in close quarters, like let's say on a map like Mall at the Pines or any close quarter area, like just being in the same room, for instance, you're most likely going to hit that target, unless you're just holding the trigger down like a mad fool, and that's going to ruin your accuracy anyway. But I would say a quick little burst, you should be able to get them no problem from the hip with this laser sight. So there's that. And then we're going to take a look at my underbarrel. Went with the, sorry about that, there we go. So I went with the SFOD speed grip, and that will give you a plus 10% sprinting move speed and a plus 15% horizontal recoil control. Personally, I didn't really see too big of a factor with the sprinting move speed. At least it wasn't too noticeable. Where it is noticeable, though, is your horizontal recoil control. It seems as though it gives your weapon a lot more balance, and you're going to definitely notice that, especially for targets that are far away when you're aimed down sight. As far as the cons of, minus 6% movement speed, minus 6% shooting move speed, and then the aim walking movement speed, it's really not that much. Hardly noticeable at all. So, alright, let's take a look at my magazine. I went with the Salvo 50 round fast mag. There's a lot of pros to it. I mean, look at it. Plus 67% magazine ammo capacity. I'm not going to read all these off because you can see. But the main thing is, it's a speed mag that gives you an extra 50 rounds. I mean, that's pretty cool. That was a deal breaker. And the reason why I went with this compared to, a fast mag, yeah, I get it. On Search and Destroy, some people prefer a fast mag that's, I guess you could say, lower ammo capacity, because even though this one's a fast mag, there's other magazines that can load faster, if you will. For me, personally, I like the idea of tricking my opponent to believe that I'm reloading, and all I'm doing is I'm waiting for him to poke his head out and finish him off because he thinks I'm reloading and I'm not. I just have extended mag. So if that's your playstyle, I highly recommend that. If it ain't your playstyle and you want to go the other route, hey, do you. Alright, and then the other one, my handle. I went with the Airborne Elastic Wrap, mainly for the plus 90% flinch resistance. Yeah, I like the extra plus 30% aim down sight time, because, I mean, let's face it, right clicking and then aim down the sight real quick definitely helps. But that flinch time, flinch resistance, you're definitely going to notice huge difference in regards to that. And then another thing you're going to notice a little bit, though, is that minus 15% sprint to fire time. So, I mean, if you're a guy who's like really, really run and gun, you may choose to go with a different weapon like an SMG compared to this. But I mean, if you were more of a medium to long range style player where you like to pick people off in the distance, that ain't gonna make that much of a factor towards your gameplay. So there's that on that. And then my stock went with the Raider stock. Main reason I went with that is I wanted to make up for the sprint to fire time like I was just talking about. And I also like the idea of the aim locking movement speed to get an extra 40%. Where would that play a factor? Well, maps like, hardcore domination, where you're trying to kind of move around a little bit while you're aimed. Didn't like the idea that I lost a minus 30% hipfire accuracy, but again, this gun is mainly designed, at least on my loadout, for medium to long range, aim down sight, movement, and aim anyway, compared to just being a hipfire weapon. So can't stress that enough. But at the same time, like I mentioned before, if you're like playing a map like Mall of the Pines, where you're indoors in the Galaxy Room and so on, you should be able to do just fine being in closed areas with the hipfire. So yeah. Alright, so that's it as far as my gunsmith on my attachments. As far as my appearance, I did go with this particular camo, which is this one right here, the top right of, I guess they call it the sprays. So it's more of like a winter look. For some reason, it doesn't like actually show the exact name of it, but there you go. I was actually thinking about purchasing not that one, but this one. I thought that looked pretty good. Kind of saving up for it. I only got 400 CP. But anyway, back on track on what we're talking about. As far as my actual secondary, I went with the Armada. Really like the rate of fire on that. The burst fire. And then also have that, what is it? The quick dot LED. Don't really have a lot unlocked on it. But as far as my Famas, or QBZ-83, whatever you want to call it, it's all maxed out for the most part. As far as my tactical, I went with the stim shot. Mainly for search and destroy. If you play search and destroy, you really need that. Otherwise, you just, if you get disorientated from a stun or partially burned, or you're barely surviving, you're just constantly gasping. Go with the stim shot. Even if you don't play search and destroy, I mean, it just seems to really help out a lot. Having full health again and so on. As far as all this other stuff, I mean, CM turret. It just depends on your playstyle. And then my perks, I went with engineer because I felt as though it felt like bomb squad from COD 4, like being able to see, proximity mines and so on. Assassin kind of speaks for itself, and then the ninja, it's a lot like COD 4's Dead Silence. So not quite, but I like the idea that, if I'm playing a game mode like Team Deathmatch or hardcore domination, where if a lot of things are going off at once, like explosions and so on, for the most part, no one's really going to hear me over those explosions. So, and of course my wild card is gunfire, because I just felt as though this weapon, medium to long range, I wanted to have the extra attachments. If you're the type of player in which you rather have the perk greed, to have multiple perks per category, let's see what works for you. But this definitely worked out for me, this loadout. So, alright guys, that's it for today's episode with the QBZ-83, better known as the Famas, and I'm looking forward to doing another video / episode on another weapon here soon. So that's it for now. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.